sheet 102. This is our ceiling plan, right? So, open. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that all those dimensions are in here. So I'm going to go to Model. I don't want to see those dimensions here, so I'm going to freeze them. But we do need to dimension where our light fixtures are. And there are some handy tricks, some very handy tricks. The first of which is going to be a line that illustrates that a light is centered on something like a door opening. However, this is for a dimension. Layers, you know what, all non-XREF layers, will just show me this. And where is it? Dimensions, right there. Dimensions and center 2. That way we know that's an actual center line. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. So a line from here. We do not need, I'm going to repeat that, we do not need to dimension outlet locations. But I do want light fixtures dimensioned. And things can get a little ugly when we dimension light fixtures, but that's okay. So this center line means that this light fixture is centered on that door, and so is this light fixture. This center line means this light fixture and this light fixture are centered on that door. Kind of self-explanatory. I can even, let's just do it this way. I'll draw another line here. To show, well, you know what I could do? I can actually extend this all the way across to here. And then change that light fixture placement. I moved it, what, maybe 8 inches? But now, this light fixture and that ceiling fan is going to be centered on the door. Oh, center 2. Now the only thing I have left to dimension, I don't want it aligned, I want linear. There to there. Okay, 5'6" 3/4, that's just a strange dimension. I don't want that kind of dimension, but 5'6" is nice. So I'll stretch and go that way, 3/4 of an inch. Oop, something got off. Let's try that again. Here we go, 5'6". Perfect. That's how I want that. There's another indication of a fixture that's centered on a door. I'm not even certain we'll be able to see that center line indicator. There it is. You know what? On the inside of a closet, for a light fixture, and in this case, for the inside of a closet, don't even worry about it. Don't worry about showing a dimension. Okay, I needed another dimension string here. Yeah, I'm not going to stick with 2'6", 2'8" 1/8. I don't think so. But 2'6", that one's pretty nice. And drag down 2-1/8. There we go. Now, one of the things I might want to do is visually I want to line that up. There we go. And those 2 light fixtures have been located. This one here on the outside wall, I'm going to need to locate him. So I can just go from one fixture to the next. Happens to be 2'2". That's fine. I do want to pull this away a little bit more just for readability. And and then make sure that this lines up. Here's another example where we can use that center line. Just draw a line right through here. And this is where I get to show you guys another trick. Come over to my properties. I can change my line type scale of a single line so that the pattern can actually show up. Turns out it's a pretty handy thing. You know what is wrong? I want to take this and I want to center that on the toilet fixture. I just want to do that. Ta-da. There we go. Just like that. And now the only thing I need is one little dimension string in there. Okay, no 1 foot 4 7/8, but 18 inches is awfully nice. So that's 1-1/8, 1 foot 6. Nice happy round number. And then I just modify that bottom one just so it looks pretty. Now for something like this, I can put in multiple center lines, which is actually what I want to do, because I don't need to run dimension strings along both everything. I can use one set of dimension strings to get all these lights. And highlight them, change them to center 2. And run my grid this way as well. I'll bet you the pattern is not going to be readable there. So I'm going to use my match properties command. That's MA, the command prompt. This is my source object because this is the line I changed the line type scale on. Now I can come over here and select that. There we go. And we'll copy and copy. I have no idea what these dimension placements are going to be. Now, one of the things we don't need to do is I don't need to show wall thickness on my reflected ceiling plan. So when I go to my dimension, I only need from the wall. Okay. And this might just be, yeah. The reason these dimensions are coming out nice and pretty right now is probably because I planned it that way. I use my stretch command and just pull these down a hair. So with just a few dimensions, all 6 of those lights have been located, and I can do something similar here. Now I've got something special going on here. I'm going to use more of these center lines. Oops, let me get him real quick. I don't really have this light centered on anything, so I'm going to just locate him with a couple of dimensions. So we'll go from there to there. I will get rid of that 1/8 of an inch dimension though. There we go. Okay. Okay, so grab a hold of those. And 3 foot 5 1/4, let's make that 3 foot 6. Grab a hold of him, let's make him 4 foot 6. Nice happy round numbers. Okay. Got some light fixtures here I need to locate. And I'll show you some of the special conditions I've got going on there. So, again, strike a line. My hope is that by having you guys watch me as I dimension this, that it will tell you guys how I get things, how I do these things. And hopefully in turn, you'll be able to adopt what I'm doing and apply it to your own plan and your own design. I always like having my center lines offshoot the object that I'm actually dimensioning. Use my match properties again. Here's my source object. There we go. And a couple of dimensions real quick. Now you notice I'm still placing these dimensions there on the outside of the plan. We've got some half inches in there. I really don't want to see those half inches, but I want those dimensions to be nice and pretty. So, let's go all the way through there. Oops. Let's try this again. Stretch 0.5, which means I have to move and stretch him 0.5 because I want these to be nice and pretty. In the real world, it would probably end up being like even 5 feet, but I think that would require me to redesign my cabinetry. I don't want to get that far ahead right now, so I'll call them 5'1" and we're good. And I'm taking these, and instead of using extend or anything like that, I'm scaling to a 1.25. Definitely did something strange. Okay. 1.25. Huh. Fine then. Let's draw a circle here, give it a radius of 12. And the only reason I'm doing this is because the offshoot of my dimension line, I like them to be symmetrical. Again, it's purely aesthetic, and it's because I'm weird. There we go. Erase those. My match properties. And just so that all these things match, because I've got a few that aren't as, I have a few of these lines that don't have the same spacing. So all these little matchy things here. There we go. Oop, this one too. You ever notice? You notice that how this is highlighting as I mouse over it? Is because AutoCAD is trying to be helpful and saying, hey, I can match properties to your XREF as well. Not that it really makes any difference. No, see what happens when I hold my mouse over a regular dimension. Changes all those lines as well. I don't want to do that. Okay. Now, as this is a ceiling plan, there are a few other things that I need to show. This will only affect those of you who are doing, who have any changes in your ceiling. I need to show what those are. Why? Because these are changes, these are ceiling fur downs. I need to show where they are in plan. And it just so happens that this ceiling line fern down lines up with that wall. That's how I established that. And I need a radius here, and I need to establish an endpoint from where this springs off of. Since I already have some dimensions right here, I'm going to continue this out. From there to there. Oh, thank goodness, it's a nice pretty round number. And now, I could put an actual radius on this, but I think my radius point is outside the actual unit. So I'm going to use what's called a jogged dimension. And okay, dimension center override is right there. And a couple of extra clicks. There we go. And this is just how the radius happens to turn out. Now I could probably, matter of fact, I think I will. I'm going to go back in my floor plan and I'm going to modify this. So I'm going to save this drawing. Go back into A101. I don't know how many of you guys will remember all the fun that you had in geometry class with circles and stuff like that. But I remember it all. Well, a lot of it. I want that arc to have a radius 32 feet even, not 32 feet 4 and some change. And it's not till you zoom in real close do you actually see what the difference is. So modify that circle, or modify that arc. Come and delete my circles. Save it. Come back to 102. And it should. No, it didn't want to. Bummer. Yeah, I was hoping that would work. Do I have? No, I don't. Okay, so I'll just place a new one. But at least now I know he's going to work right. Jogged dimension, center point, text, jog. There we go. And now he's happy. Now when they build it, they know that the radius of that is 32 feet. And they have a spring point from where that starts from. Now, the thickness is a sheetrock, and accommodating for that, that's something that the guys out in the field do all the time anyway. It's something they're accustomed to doing now. I need a few more dimensions. There. One there. Yeah, go ahead and do it. Da, 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 da. Now remember what I said about tying things in perfectly on the floor plan. How we did not want a dimension here just in case it created a conflict with what the other dimensions in the unit were doing. So I can come back here, and I can actually highlight the both of those. My properties window, scroll down to where I say text. Say give it a text override. It just says EQ equal equal. And then whatever the dimension happens to be, let the contractors figure it out. Be done with it. And couple more dimensions. And same thing, we'll highlight those two. Properties, scroll down, text override, EQ. For those of you who don't know how to get to that properties window, if it doesn't automatically show up, I'm here to view. Here's your properties right there. Some of you may not have it configured like I do to show up and disappear on the edge of your screen. It's completely your preference. Okay, now I've got every single light fixture in here. Back to my layout. Happy, happy. Make my title, GNO title, make that my current layer. Come back to my tags. Drag and drop the drawing title. That should straighten out as soon as I'm done here. Let's hope so. Drawing detail number 1, drawing scale is 1/4 inch, 1 inch is 4 feet, 1/2 inch is 2 feet, 2 inches is 8 feet, drawing title, ceiling, and lighting plan. And now you can see the reason why I made the length of this adjustable. So we can stretch that out a little bit more so that the entire, the end of the text doesn't hang off the end of the line. All right, there's dimensioning the floor plan, dimensioning your ceiling and lighting plan. Floor plan, there we go. All right, and the next video is going to be dimensioning your, putting a few dimensions on your elevations and your sections, but primarily your elevations. So we'll see you guys in just a bit.